If I tell you, all of you here are superheroes with a superpower that can change lives, do you believe me?
Yes.
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 If I tell you, you have unlimited choices to make a difference in your lives, do you believe me?
Yes.
Yes.
If I tell you, after listening to my speech today, you will have a brand new perspective on life, do you believe me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
My most distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, and my dearest friends at MGTC, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
From the moment you wake up in the morning, you begin to make choices. You choose what you are going to wear, a pair of jeans or a miniskirt. You choose what you're going to eat for breakfast, an apple or a beefsteak. And you choose what you're going to take to your camping trip that day, a tent, a flashlight, or your mother. And the list gets longer and longer as the day goes on. Every day, we have hundreds of choices to make. In other words, we're constantly making choices. So what do all these choices mean to our lives? To put it simply, these choices are the things that make the way we are today. During the pandemic period, we all have to stay home and try to stay home as much as possible. In other words, we have to stay home and eat every day. So my husband thought it would be a great time for him to go on a diet and lose weight. Yes, you heard me right, to lose weight, not to gain weight like most of us, right?
Yes.
And he thought there are no more dinner gatherings, so he is able to stick to his low carbohydrate diet. In other words, low starch and low sugar. Knowing my husband, I knew he was going to stick to his diet and he's going to succeed because he's a man of principle, a man of honor, and a man of his words. He stick to what he says, right? And his diet was actually going very well until one day last week when a friend of ours gave us a super delicious, super rich, and super fattening 3-layer chocolate cake. An evil chocolate cake, my husband's Achilles heel. And as soon as he saw the chocolate cake, he screamed, "Oh no, the chocolate cake is calling my name. I have to eat it. I have no choice but to eat it." And before I could stop him, he had already picked up the cake and shoved it into his mouth. And before you know it, he had already devoured half of the cake. Sound familiar? Most people who have been on a diet had experienced something like this, right? Most diets failed because most people thought they have no choice in front of gourmet food. But no choice, right? Now you see the importance of making a choice. Some people say good choices bring you to heaven. Bad choices take you to hell. Actually, I agree with this, but only to an extent. You may be curious why I say this. Well, because I don't think all bad choices are bad. Take myself, for example. When I was in high school, like most teenagers, I was very rebellious, trying to find my own identity by going against everything my parents said. I couldn't wait to move out of the house and go to college and enjoy a life of freedom. However, things did not go as I expected. My father was strongly against the idea of me moving out of the house. We had numerous heated arguments over this, and every time we argued, it tore apart our relationship more and more. Despite of my father's disapproval, I decided to rent a house near my university, packed up my luggage, and said goodbye to my parents. As I was leaving the house at the door, my father gave me a choice to make. He said in a cold and stern voice, he said, "You can choose to put down your luggage and stay home, or you can choose to move out of the house. But if you choose to step out of the house now, don't ever come back here again." After my father's ultimatum, there was an awkward silence. Finally, my mother broke the silence by begging me not to leave. I picked up my luggage, gave my mom a hug, opened the door, holding back my tears, and left. In the next few months, the joy of living a life of freedom did not come at all. Instead, the feeling of regrets and self-blame overwhelmed me. I miss my mother. I miss my dog. And I miss my dad. I made a bad choice. But what could I do? What should I do? One day, my mother phoned me and told me that my father's birthday was coming. And my family was planning a big birthday party for my dad. And she wished that I could attend the party. Being such a proud person I was, I turned her down right away. But after the next few days, I was agonizing over whether I should use this opportunity to make peace with my dad. To go or not to go? That was the question. As the date of the party drawing near, I had a choice to make. This time, the angel in me won. I decided to attend the party. When my dad saw me, he didn't say much, but I could tell he was very happy that I went. After the party, as I was leaving the house and headed back to my apartment, at the door, my father said to me, "You can choose to step out of the house, but don't forget to come back." I picked up my bag, hugged my mom, gave my mom and dad a hug, opened the door, holding back my tears, and left. This time, there were tears of joy. This time, I made the right choice. We often think that we have made a bad choice, but a choice is bad only when you don't learn something from it. The first choice I made was bad because I should not have used such a drastic way to fight my independence. Instead, I should have communicated more with my father and proved I was able to take good care of myself before making such a drastic move. Thank God, we have infinite choices to make in life. I was able to make things right by making another choice. Life is all about choices, and the choice we make makes you. I often think if I did not choose to move back to Taiwan, would I be a happier person, live a better life, and have a greater success? Well, I really don't have the answers for those questions. But I do know that because of the choices I made, I'm able to marry to a man who loves me very much, have the best son anyone could ask for, have a group of students who are eager to learn, and most important of all, join Toastmasters, became the chartered president of MGTC, and making a speech to all my dear friends now. Everything in life is a reflection of the choices we make. And I like the reflection I'm looking at right now. My dear friends, do you like the kind of life you have right now? If you do, congratulations. You must have made many right choices. If you don't, and you would like a different result, then start to make better choices. We all hold the superpower of making a difference in our lives. And the superpower is called choices. And we are all superheroes who has the ability to use the power to change lives. It's a matter of how you are going to use your power to create the kind of world you desire. It is choices that brought us together. It is choices that make us the way we are today. It is choices that brought me here to spread the message. So next time, when you pick up that piece of chocolate cake, remember, you have a choice. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Lily.